Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's query is write a SQL query to retrieve number of software engineers, data professionals and managers in the team to separate columns. Below are the rules to identify them using the job title. If the job title starts with software, then it should be software engineers. If the job title starts with data, then it is data professional. If the title contains manager, then it is a manager. To write this query, we have a table employee where we have employee ID, name, join date, job title. To output expected queries, we have to create these three new titles and count the number of employees come under each titles based on the rules given in the question. We can write this query in two ways. First, let's write using the CTE. With CTE as select. Here I'm using the case statement to create a separate column as employee group and assign these three new titles to each employees based on the rules. Select case when and job title. To match that pattern, I'm using the filter like start with software, then it is software engineer. Next rule, when job title starts with data, then it is data professionals. Next rule, when job title contains the manager, then it is manager. And I'm naming this as employee group from employee table. Now I created a separate column as employee group. Other than this, I want other columns also from the employee table. So select star. Now let's see how this query is working. So separate column is created and the new titles are assigned to the employees based on the rules. But now here we want to count the number of employees in each employee group. For that I am writing one more city. One as select, we want employee group. Next we want to count how many number of employees. So count of star, I am naming this as count from city. The whole data we are grouping on employee group. Now let's see how the output we are getting. So for each employee group, it has counted the how many number of employees. But we want, here it is there in the row wise, but we want it in the column wise. These three employee groups should be in the column and their count should be below that. To do that, I am using the case statement again. Select case when employee group equals to software engineers, then display their count. end, and I'm naming this column as software engineers. So the next column, case when employee group is data professionals. So when employee group is data professional, then display the count, and I'm naming this as data professionals. Next column and the last column, case when employee group is manager, then display the count. I'm naming this as manager from CTE1. Now let's run the query. See, this here the select statement runs row wise. So each row it has check if it is software engineer or not. If it is software engineer, it displays that particular count. If it is not, then it is displayed as null. But here we don't want null. We want only the values of each titles. So for that I'm using a function here sum, so that it neglects the null values and give the total sum for each title. Now let's run the query. So we got the expected output, software engineer is 9, data professional is 3, manager 3. We can write this query in another way also, like select. Here I'm directly creating the new columns. For that I'm using the case statement. Case when job title, to match that pattern I'm using the like filter, like start with software, then 1, end, and I'm naming this column as software engineers. Okay, for next column, when job title starts with data, then 1, and I'm naming that as data professionals. For the last column, case when job title contains the manager, then 1, and I'm naming that as manager from employee table. Now let's run the query and see the output. So it is counted for each row and check if it is started with software, then it is counted as 1, and if not, it is taken as null. So we don't want all the null values, but yet it has to sum it up all the ones. For that I'm using the function here sum. And we can also use count here and it works the same. Now let's run the query. So we got the expected output here. Thank you.